Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning into our echo3D walkthrough. My name is Megan Yamauchi, and I work on the enterprise sales team at echo3D. Today's walkthrough will be jammed packed with information and a live demo, so if at any point you have questions, feel free to reach out to me at megan@echo3d.com or reach out to our team on the contact form on our website. So let's jump right into it. First of all, what is echo3D? echo3D is a 3D digital asset management platform for teams to store, secure, optimize, and share 3D models, digital twins, and scans across their organization and beyond. We help over 200,000 users to view and share massive 3D files while allowing teams to discover, manage, and update 3D content in real time across their entire organization. Managing 3D libraries as a team is a pain. 3D content is very different from 2D content because file sizes are huge, making it hard to share. There is no single file format, creating compatibility issues when teams try to use the same 3D model. 3D models are complex. In many cases, they are actually composed of multiple files: skeleton, texture, mesh, and coloring. And they are very hard to find since most indexing, like text or audio search, don't apply to them. So that's why we created echo3D, a centralized repository and API to store, compress, convert, and share 3D models and digital twins. You move all your 3D content to echo3D, and we allow you to store, share, search for, and collaborate on such content with ease. We are integrated and compatible with all 3D design tools like Blender and Autodesk, and 3D engines like Unity and Unreal. And we work on any cloud environment, AWS, Azure, or GCP. We actually have direct partnerships with many of these design tools and cloud service providers. The platform is either accessed on a SaaS basis or can be installed locally on a business's own cloud or on-prem servers. We now see 3D models and digital twins being used in every industry, from automotive, gas and oil, manufacturing, retail and e-commerce, marketing, gaming, to even the military. Most have their own 3D assets, and many have massive libraries of 3D scans and digital twins of their products or other 3D models which are used for marketing, training, product development, and more. Before onboarding with echo3D, our clients complained that their teams struggled to manage and update their 3D libraries and collaborate across their organization, resulting in time and resources wasted. They also suffered from inefficient workflows and were unable to discover 3D content they already owned and even spend money on incompatible 3D assets and asset duplicates. We help with all of that, allowing you to take control over your 3D content. Teams can view and share massive 3D models and scans, easily collaborate through one central system, and save time and money on the entire 3D workflow. Now that we know what echo3D is, let's see how it works. Each of our clients selects their preferred deployment option: SaaS on our cloud, local cloud on the client's cloud environment, AWS, Azure, or GCP, or on-prem. We deploy, and then teams within the organization unlock a plethora of features like those on the list here on the right and more. So now that you know what echo3D is, let's jump into the actual platform. When you register for an account, you will see at the top of your console that there is an API key. An API key is a unique identifier of a repository for your 3D content, or a 3D collection if you will. So you'll start off with one parent collection, and then you can add more child collections as needed. You can upload assets directly from your local files on your computer, local folders, Google Drive, search through our 800,000 plus free assets in our library, or drag and drop, which is my personal favorite because of how convenient it is. When you upload an asset, a window will pop up where you can select workflows. You can maintain the uploaded folder structures and detect duplicates, which I will talk more about a little bit later. You can customize your upload workflow further by adding metadata and tags that will be applied to all uploaded assets, and you can choose if you would like AI-generated tags to be added to your asset. or use quick add suggested tags from your other assets in the collection. You can also choose what additional operations will be performed on each uploaded asset. For example, a GLB and USDZ version of your model will always be created, or choose to generate a Draco compressed or Ultimate compressed version of the models as well. Finally, you can choose which collections and users on your current collection to share all of the assets with, or you can set the assets to be locked. Once your assets load in, it will populate a content card that looks like this. If you double-click on the content card, it will open a detailed view, and here you can see all of your asset information, like file type, size, storage, and more. We'll come back to this detailed view a little later, but for now let's dive deeper into some of our other pages. On the top of the content page, we have a bunch of different SDKs, like Unity, Unreal, Blender, and more, to help you easily integrate into other solutions. You can also note that you can use our RESTful API natively with any platform, not just the ones we have listed here. In terms of file formats we support, as you can see by the files I have on my console, we accept many file formats in addition to 3D, like 2D images, videos, and animations. We also support native CLO and Revit files, and formats from industry standard tools like AutoCAD by Autodesk, SolidWorks, Inventor, SketchUp, and more. Next, we have collections and sharing. Here you can add new users to your collections by hitting the plus, typing their email, and selecting their permissions. We have a few different options like admin, editor, commenter, and viewer. If you add a user who doesn't have an echo3D account yet, they will show up as not yet registered until they create their echo3D account. On the Group tab, you can search and add new groups. In order to add a new group, hit the plus, add a group name, hit Continue, then add members by entering their emails and choosing the collection you want to add them to. After you create your group, you can rename, manage the members, edit the collection access, email, or delete the group. For collections, all your collections will show up here, with your access level and credit limit. You can also add new collections, rename, make public, set credit limits, enable lazy loading, show API key, export data, and delete. For exporting data, a modal will appear that gives you options for what type of collection and asset-specific data you want to include in your export. After clicking Export, our servers will process your request and respond with a zip file. If any asset-specific data options were selected, that asset data will appear in subfolders of the zip file, where each subfolder corresponds to an asset in your collection. You can also export data for single assets on the content page by clicking the three dots on any of your content cards and going through the same steps. For collection sharing, you can switch between collections up here, and you'll be able to see everyone who has access to your specific collections. You can change their access permissions and change collection access settings. Here you can lock your collection, allow commenters and viewers to download assets without needing to request access, or make your collection public. When this is enabled, the collection can be loaded by anyone who is registered to echo3D and not just permitted users and viewers. Next, we have asset sharing. Here you will see pending requests from viewers, and you can approve or deny the request. If you choose to deny access, you can add a note explaining why. You can also go back and approve old requests that you have denied in the past. Next, we have metadata and tags. This page allows you to manage data associated with your collection and the data associated with individual assets, including metadata, tags, files, and text. You can add data at a collection level in the Collection Taxonomy tab, as well as add data for specific individual assets within a collection in the Asset-Specific Taxonomy tab. For metadata, we have set keys you can choose from, or you can create your own. You can also check this box to apply the data to each asset individually. Admins can add required keys and enforce the addition of such keys to any new asset in such collection. Add notes for your team members to explain why this key is required and what values would be acceptable. You can also add tags to both collections and specific assets. Upon upload, the platform will use AI to auto-generate tags and add them to your asset. You can then manually add more tags to your asset or your collection, or easily remove them. You can view the texture and material files of a specific 3D asset under Asset Files. You can download or edit each asset file. If you click Edit, you'll be moved to the Model Editor, where you can update these asset files through a 3D model-specific editor. For linked files, you can add any type and associate them with a whole collection or a specific asset. This could be a CSV, PDF, MP4, or whatever other type of file you're using. From there, you can either download it or delete. Finally, we have linked text. You can add any freeform text and associate them with a whole collection or a specific asset. Linked text is automatically saved and can be edited or deleted at any time. Next, we have our WebAR Customizer page. Here you can swap between assets and add buttons, logos, AR viewer, links, text, social media, or WebAR QR codes at a collection or asset level. You can also edit the background image, play music, allow snapshots, and save user locations. In our 3D model editor, we have some quick editing tools. Here you can create 3D to 2D posters just by moving the asset to your desired angle and hitting Poster. It will then create a PNG with a transparent background that will be downloaded to your computer. You can also adjust exposure and shadows, create variants, easily swap base colors and textures, and more. In terms of analytics and reports, you can view where all of your assets are on a map if they are specified with a location target. You can also see the usage metrics around the most used locations and from which locations your 3D assets are being accessed by country. On the users page, you can analyze users by country, and the Insights page shows when your 3D assets are accessed over time. You are also able to see a collection history down below. Next, we have a very important feature, and that is our optimization tools. On the Convert and Compress page, you can easily convert your assets to different file formats and optimize. We have our standard compression, which is the Draco compression, and then we have the echo3D Ultimate compression. This is echo3D's homegrown proprietary 3D model compression algorithm that results in 100 times smaller 3D file sizes while also preserving visual fidelity. Additionally, you can easily poly-reduce your assets, like how I'm doing right now. Okay, so now that we got through all of our pages, let's go back to the content page and discuss more cool features that we have. For organization, if you have a bunch of assets that you don't want to add to another collection, you can create folders for them to keep your assets organized, like how I have here. How you do that is by hitting the 3 dots and going to Organize. Then you can create a new folder or add to an existing one. Your folders will show up at the top of the content page and also on the left side panel if you hit this arrow. In terms of searching, we have multimodal search, which means that you can search by text, image, or 3D model. To search by text, head on over to the search bar and type in any keyword. Assets will then appear in the search results if any of the following asset data includes the search text for asset file name, asset tags, and AI-generated tags, names of linked files associated with the asset, and asset metadata keys. In order to search by image, hit the image icon in the search bar and upload a JPG, JPEG, or PNG. The search results will show all 3D models and image assets that have at least 50% visual similarity to the search image file. For search by model, click the 3 dots on any 3D asset and hit Find Similar. And just like searching by image, the results will show all 3D models and image assets that have at least 50% visual similarity to the searched asset. You can also redo the search with a different minimum similarity. This tool is very useful because it helps teams remove redundancies from their 3D library save storage, and find relevant style-matched 3D assets. We have a bunch of different ways you can filter for assets as well. On advanced filtering, you can filter for asset type, collaborator, last modified, tags, favorites, name, size, approvals, and comments in order to help you easily find the right file within your collection. Another feature we have to help remove redundancies and save your storage is duplicate detection. We detect duplicate entries within the same project during the upload process with the aim of preventing accidental duplicate uploads, as well as saving our users credit expenditure on storage when a duplicate entry is desired. When you upload your model, be sure to check this box that says Duplicate Detection under File Settings. You can then set it to Skip All, Prompt on Detection, or Re-Upload All. Now let's talk about Asset Hierarchy. In order to access the Asset Hierarchy editor, you will need to double-click on the content card to open the detailed view. Then you can click on Hierarchy, and here you will see that you can add new parent assets and new child assets. So all you need to do is find the asset that you want and select that. Once it loads in, if you choose to remove it, all you have to do is hit the X. It should also be noted that a cyclical hierarchy structure is not supported, and adding relationships that would result in such a structure will be rejected. We also have version control. By default, the first version of your asset is the original upload file. A new version is created whenever the asset or target is updated. So when you double-click on the content card to open the detailed view, you will see versions. If you hold Control on your keyboard and click on another version, you will be able to see a side-by-side comparison. If you click the three dots, you have a few options like revert to older version, copy the version ID, edit, and delete. A newer feature that we just released is PSD renders. By going to the three dots on any of your assets, you'll see a button that says Generate PSD. You can then edit the camera angle and height and width. After that, hit Download and select Email Me for an email notification. Once you hit Generate, it will start to render a PSD file of your 3D asset. From there, you can add it to Adobe Photoshop and view your PSD file to see the multiple layers of your 3D asset. For collaborating with your team, you can add comments directly on assets and tag users almost like how you would do on Slack or Microsoft Teams. If you add someone in a comment, they will immediately receive an email notification. You can also track the activity of your assets by hitting this tab to see the latest updates. Another notable feature that we have is annotations. You can add annotations to your assets by double-clicking on the content card and selecting the area you want to add your annotation to. You can then toggle annotations on and off by hitting this button here, and also edit and delete annotations that you've already created. If you copy and paste the link in your browser, the annotations will also persist. And finally, for securely sharing 3D assets within your organization and with external partners, we have web links that you can copy and paste for a quick view in the browser. You can also share QR codes for instant AR viewing experiences, or add users to your project on our collection and sharing page like how I showed you earlier. Since that was the last thing in our demo, I just want to jump back over to the slides and reiterate some key points. The first is that we are API first. All features of our platform are available through API queries, allowing for easy integration with existing cloud environments and 3D tools. We also allow you to deploy echo3D on your organization's own AWS, Azure, or GCP cloud infrastructure, so the data never leaves your organization. Our 3D processing is our secret sauce. Users can view and share massive 3D files and scans thanks to our proprietary 3D optimization algorithm, which outperforms market standard compression tools by more than 10 times. So it's really an all-in-one 3D DAM for you to store all your files in one central repository with built-in 3D compression and conversion tools, a 3D viewer, 3D editor, and a custom WebAR experience builder. We hope this was useful, and now you have a better understanding of how you can use echo3D's 3D digital asset management platform to store, secure, optimize, and share 3D assets, digital twins, and scans across your organization. Try it out today for free at echo3d.com.